So yesterday I did a video to have a look at which guys are heading abroad at the end of this coming Super Rugby season. It's a fair few guys, especially from New Zealand, who are kind of at that age, 30 or over, and perhaps looking to make a bit of pound or euro or yen or whatnot before they retire from the game. So I thought, why don't we turn it around a bit and have a look the other way around, because it's not that often that we talk about players who are returning to Super Rugby from abroad. It does happen. There's plenty of guys playing at the moment who've had a stint abroad. Some of the Springbok guys are based abroad, and you know the Wallabies have flirted for a while with guys who are based abroad as well. So, who are the guys confirmed to be coming back? And do you think any of these guys will be making a push for their World Cup squad? Or do you think perhaps they're just coming back to be closer to home? Because, yeah, there's a bit of a mixed bag. We'll start with Luke Jones. He is among one of several changes for the Rebels this coming year. Lock loose forward, 27, has played for the Wallabies a handful of times. So one would assume he's at the peak of his powers. He's got to be targeting a World Cup spot. There's going to be spots available in that kind of lock loose forward space, so he's another alternative. He's a good guy to have back in the game. Matt Tamua, we know he's in the Wallabies mix because Cheika picked him in the recent kind of Rugby Championship and November games. He was eligible to be picked not because of his caps, but because he had already agreed to return to Australia to play for the Rebels. So despite still being in England at the moment, he still qualified. Solid player. With Quade Cooper having also signed for the Rebels, you've got to think he's going to be playing 12 outside Cooper, unless they battle it out for that 10 jersey, but I wouldn't have thought so. But perhaps in Wallabies terms, he'll be battling it out with Beale, maybe for that 12 jersey. So he'll be an interesting one to watch. He's a good player. And Campbell Magnay, I'll be lying if I said I remember very much about him. I went on YouTube and had a look for some highlights of him. There's him scoring a pretty good try against the Crusaders. I vaguely remember that try, but again, I would be totally fibbing if I said I remembered that it was him. From a quick little read-up on him, was thought to be kind of another one of these up-and-coming future Wallabies guys who decided to take some money in Japan. He's only 22, so still got a long career ahead of him. Maybe he's made a bit of coin, and perhaps another guy looking to, be a bolter for that World Cup squad. Injuries have been an issue with him from what I've read. So, I guess we'll see how he goes. He's a big bloke. For the Reds, Matt McGann, and this guy's played for the Blues. I don't think he's that exciting a prospect personally, but perhaps that's just because he's from the Blues when they were not that good. Also, everything you read about him, it mentions that he's got a famous dad rather than talking more about him. So perhaps that indicates that the man himself isn't quite that good, because instead of talking about his feats, they end up talking about his dad. He is 25, been playing in Japan. We'll see how he goes. I'm probably less excited about him as I am than the other three. So, we'll see how he goes. For the Blues, and that's why I got the Blues kit on, one of the more famous names, at least the most famous New Zealander on this board, Ma'anonu, is coming back from France to play for the Blues. His previous stints with the Blues have not been earth-shattering. From my memory of him playing for the Blues, he would always play really well for the All Blacks and then ordinary for the Blues. But hey, it was a pretty ordinary Blues team he was playing in as well. They've been ordinary for a while. He's 36, which makes him older than me. There's not many guys on this board, although there is another one, older than me. Apparently he's in great shape. I'm not holding my breath to see how he goes. I know a lot of guys are super excited to see Ma'a and how he goes, but I don't know how much of that is just kind of fond memories of seeing him in the black jersey busting things up in the past, and how much of that's actually realistic for now. But like I said, some guys are saying he looks peak condition. He's still got it, so we'll find out if he's still got it. Can I imagine him going to the World Cup? Probably not. But hey, stranger things have happened. Fetu Douglas for the Crusaders. From memory, they signed him to come back for the end of last season, but Sanzar said he couldn't play in the playoffs because he hadn't played enough games. And I don't remember them playing him in the end of the season. I think he was eligible for a few games towards the end, but I don't remember him. I could be mistaken. But Fetu Douglas is coming back from Italy. He's 27. He left for Italy at a bad time because he had just really started to come good for the Crusaders, but he kind of had already signed his contract before he really put in some key performances for them. I think it was the start of the 2016 season. So I think he tried to get out of the contract but failed, so ended up going to Italy. Good player, man. The Crusaders have got heaps of depth. I mean, you got Kieran Reid playing there as well, so he'll be a bit of a rotational option, but you got to think Reid's going to get a wee bit of a rest, being a World Cup year as well, so hopefully he will get some game time, and he is a very good pick. Highlanders, Marty Banks. A lot of Highlanders will be happy to see him back. Kind of a cult hero. Has been in Italy and apparently Japan. Yeah, he's back. Sopwang is gone, so Marty Banks is there to step things up. They've got Gatland there as well from the Blues, so hopefully Marty Banks gets the starting job. If Gatland goes from a Blues kind of semi-reject to being a legend with the Highlanders, I'll be pretty gutted. But Marty Banks, we know what he can do. Someone else said it in the comments. Imagine if the the All Blacks get a few injuries and then Marty Banks is a bolter for the World Cup squad. Again, man, if Stephen Donald can make it, why not Marty Banks? He is an underrated player, absolutely. Hurricanes, James Marshall. He kind of utility back. He's been abroad for a wee while now. He's coming back. He's 30. Not that excited. Maybe if you're a Canes fan, you're more excited than me. He's a good player. He's fine, but he's not... I wouldn't say he's going to sell that many more season tickets. So, yep, James Marshall's back. We'll see how he goes. I mean, he's good, but there's probably bigger names in that back line for the Hurricanes who are going to perhaps be more important. I would think bit piece player, but hey, who knows? The Bulls are probably the biggest movers on the board in terms of those two names. Scott Brits is coming back. He's from England. He's been without a team for a wee while, despite being with the Springboks. He's 37, so the only other guy on the board who is actually older than me. Still seems to have it from what little I've seen of him. He played for the Barbars. Rassie Erasmus thinks he's got it, so hey, I'll defer to his judgment. Hopefully he has a good season with the Bulls. They've lost Adrian Strauss, so they need to hook it a step up, so he'll get some game time. And Dwayne Vermeulen, 32, back from his stints in France and I think Japan as well. He's a massive signing and he's a massive man. He should be a key player. He should be getting game time week in, week out. Yeah, we really know what he can do. I picked him in my Southern Hemisphere 23 is kind of how highly I rate him. The day that he got signed by the Bulls, I think it was it a Saturday here? I can't remember, but either way, I put on the Bulls jersey when I went shopping because I was pretty pumped. I'm very happy to see him back in Super Rugby. And lastly, Danny Mini, a prop. I don't know a whole lot about him from memory. He's solid, playing in France. The Lions lost a couple of props to Northern clubs, so it's good to have him back. If you guys have got some insights on how you think he'll go, please let me know. But yeah, that's the list thus far of guys who are coming back from somewhere above the equator to come and play in Super Rugby for 2019. You guys let me know, like I said, which ones you're excited to see. Any you think that will kind of be a bit of a bust, because not all of them will be, totally successful. Any you think are likely for World Cup selection. I mean, to me, the obvious one is Matt Tamua, given how he was in the Wallabies squad this year just gone. So Dwayne Vermeulen, Scott Brits for the Springboks. The others, any of them, can you see making Rugby World Cup 2019? You guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.